Hello everyone. I just wanted to do a quick video on the 75-gallon saltwater aquarium that we have here. As you can see, we have, well, you can't really see them, but have a very small juvenile clownfish. We have another one that's pretty small and 2 firefish in the aquarium. We also have a cleaner shrimp. He likes to hide behind the rocks. From everything that I saw throughout my research, they said, oh, the cleaner shrimp is going to be out and about and you're always going to see him. Well, no, that's not the case. The cleaner shrimp, he hides behind the rock pretty much all day. He's probably out on this side of the rocks maybe 20% of the day. Anyways, we have a lot of baby coral in the tank. We have some pulsating xenia here. We have a Kenya tree frag. As you can see, I did a bad job with the placement of the Kenya tree on the frag, but it's on there. That was my first frag, actually, and I'm so proud of that. Anyways, I actually don't know what this is. I was actually at the local fish store and I saw it and I bought it. It was $10, so I was like, why not? We have a cabbage leather here. We have clove polyps here. And I actually took a frag off of this as well. We have a blasto. We have an encrusting coral that fell out of this little hole. I need to fix that. We have a little mushroom there. He's not happy. I actually just put him onto a little rock. I want to say yesterday. Well, no, that was the day before yesterday. And he's not a happy camper right now, but he'll recover. We have a pipe organ here. We have a fox. I forgot what this is. We have a trumpet coral that fell out of this hole as well. Need to put that back. We have a Duncan coral. We have the frag of the cove polyp that I told you about. This is the Kenya tree that I took that other frag from. A branch actually fell off of this one, and I just put it on the frag. We have the, oh my gosh, I forgot this. The devil's hand leather. We have a Favia. We have a Euphilia. I actually don't know what that is either. I just saw it at a fish store and I was just like, it's $10. I'll get it. It's an LPS. I know that much. I think that's a Favia as well. This is I believe this is called a Polytheia. It's basically a supersized zoanthid pretty much. And we have some green star polyps that have some algae on it. So this, like, once again, this is the 75-gallon saltwater aquarium. Now, the last video that I posted, I showed you guys a video of the Royal Grandma spitting out sand. Unfortunately, the Royal Grandmas are no longer with us. I had 2 of them. I was always told that if you have more than 60 gallons and if your tank is 4 feet across, which would give each Royal Grandma 2 feet, you would be good with having 2 of them. Well, I'm sort of kind of on the fence about that. And this is my fault. When I picked up the 2 Royal Grandmas, one of the Royal Grandmas was a little bit bigger than the other one. They looked about the same size in the store, but once I got them home, I noticed one was a lot bigger than the other one. The bigger one was definitely attacking the smaller one. And what I did, or what I tried to do, was I tried to release one on this side of the aquarium, and I tried to release one on the other side of the aquarium. And the smaller one that was released on this side of the aquarium would always go over to this side of the aquarium, and the bigger Royal Grandma would attack it. And when it finally started to come back over to this side, the bigger one came over here and would mess with it. And that lasted for about, I want to say about 2.5 weeks. And then they sort of kind of separated from each other. And the bigger one pretty much stayed on this side, and the smaller one stayed on that side. So keeping 2 Royal Grandmas in a 75-gallon aquarium, I guess it could work. I guess it's just a chance you take, right? But anyway, so today is Monday, June the 27th. On Wednesday of last week, I noticed the Royal Grandmas looking a little lethargic in the tank. They were both on their sides of the tank, and they were looking a little lethargic. And, Royal Grandmas sort of kind of, from time to time, they'll just find a little hole and they'll just chill there. Sometimes they'll lean over to the side a little bit. That's just what they do. So it wasn't super alarming, but it was something that I noticed, right? And then on Thursday morning, I came back and both of them were no longer with us. I was super scared because I'm like, okay, well, if they died, something must be off in the tank. I don't want my other fish to die. I don't want my corals to die. So unfortunately, I have a very, very, very busy schedule. And the first opportunity I had to make it to the fish store was on Saturday. So I get to the fish store on Saturday. I let them do their testing, and they were like, yo, we don't see anything in your water sample that would, give us an indication that something was in there that would kill a fish. So I'm still scratching my head on that one. The best thing the fish store told me was that, these fish come from the wild. You just never know. Things like this happen. It sucks that, you spent your money, but things like this happen. So, like I said, I'm still at a loss. The Royal Grandmas are gone, but I think keeping 2 Royal Grandmas in the tank was kind of a bad idea. Even though they eventually separated to their size and they were living in harmony, I guess. Keeping 2 was probably a bad idea. And the thing about it is, the Royal Grandma is actually what made me want to get into the hobby. I've kept freshwater fish. And to be honest with you, and some people are going to take this the wrong way, but freshwater fish are they're just not as cool as saltwater fish. I'll say it that way. They're definitely not as cool as saltwater fish. And in my area, there's a PetSmart, but there's no Petco. The closest Petco is about 35 minutes away. And I decided to go to Petco because I was literally tired of seeing the same bland fish at PetSmart. And so I go to Petco and I see the Royal Grandma and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to have that fish. And so once again, that's how I got into everything. Originally, I was just going to keep fish. And then the more, with the more research you do and you see coral and you see the pulsating xenia, you're like, oh, well, it won't be so bad if I keep the xenia. Oh, it won't be so bad if I have a Kenya tree. And then, that leads down the road to where we're at now. But, I think I'm going to replace it with, I think I'm going to get another Royal Grandma, not 2, but just 1. And I definitely need something that's going to help shift the sand. I have some Nasaria snails, and everybody raved about the Nasaria snail. Oh, they're going to keep your they're going to keep your sand bed clean. I recently did a minor water change, so the algae on the sand is not so bad right now, but it can get pretty bad. And the Nasaria snails, all they really do, for me anyway, is when I feed the fish, they come out looking for food. They run across the sand bed. It doesn't do anything for the algae on the sand bed. And once they're done doing their thing, they just go back into the sand. And that's pretty much it. So they're not necessarily, maybe for other people, they're great sand shifters, but for me, they're not. So I'm thinking about getting a diamond goby to help shift the sand and keep it nice and clean. And I also need something for the little bit of hair algae that I'm getting. Let's see if we can. Yeah, you guys can see that. So there's a little bit of hair algae that I'm getting. I have some astrea snails in here. I need to get more. But the thing about astrea snails, and I guess any animal in general, is they work on their time and they do what they want to do. So, I could have a rock like this one that was almost covered in, I don't want to say covered, but it had a nice bit of hair algae on it. And they wouldn't do anything to it. They would eat off the other rocks, but for whatever reason, they wouldn't eat from this one. So I literally had to go in there and pretty much get all of the hair algae off of it that I could. As you can see, there's still little small strands on it. But, I had to go in there and physically remove it. And there'll be times when the hair algae will sort of kind of almost get out of control. And I'll literally have to take a snail off the glass and put it on the rock for them to mow down the hair algae. And sometimes they'll mow it down, and sometimes they'll just crawl right off that rock and go right back to the glass. So I need something that will take care of that for me. I've heard there are some tanks that you can have in a 75 gallon. I still need to do some research on that. But I'm looking to get something to help me out with that and something to help me out with the sand. Other than that, everything seems to be going well. The tank is only about 2.5 months old. And like I said, everything seems to be going well. I do have some coral that's not doing so great. Like this guy is dead. I don't even know why I still have it in there. But everything else seems to be going all right. And I'm crazy enough, I'm pretty sure the firefish are happy that the royal grandmas are gone, because the one royal grandma that was bigger than the other one was actually the, how can you say, king or queen of the tank? Because I don't know the gender. I didn't know the gender of it. He or she was the king or queen of the tank. And I keep saying he, I'm sorry about that. And it kept, rule over the tank, because this little cave here is actually where I did the video of the royal grandma spinning out the sand. But this is where the firefish originally was. It was originally the firefish's home, because the firefish were in there before the royal grandmas. And the royal grandma basically kicked them out and took over the cave. And so I'm pretty sure they are happy that it's gone. But I'm not happy, because that was, I could have bought some clothes, or, well, in today's world, that was a tank of gas for both of the royal grandmas. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and rambling. Once again, we have the 75-gallon aquarium. I also need another circulation pump that I want to put on this side. But I'm going to go ahead and stop talking. I'll keep you guys updated on everything. And no, I do not have a sump. If you're wondering, I don't have a sump. But everything seems to be going A-okay. All right, see you guys next time.